Hi guys, it's Chinelo, Coco Chinelo, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. A couple videos ago, I shared some 2024 predictions that I had and determined whether I made an accurate prediction or not. So if you haven't watched that video, you should go watch that video. But now I'm back because obviously we're very close to 2025 and I have some predictions of my own. And I really want these predictions to be as accurate as possible. And in order to do that, I need to take into account what is happening in America or really in the world that could possibly have an effect on the fashion that we see in 2025. You know, I wish I had a more worldly view, but I don't. I haven't really seen much of the world. So I feel like for these predictions, sadly, it's kind of gonna be a bit America-centric, but I do really want to travel to other parts of the world, not just like Europe, but I really want to travel to like Asia and Africa and South America, analyze their culture, customs, way of life, and share the stories behind their fashion. But I don't have that experience quite yet, so all these predictions are very America-centric. A lot has happened this year, politically and economically, and I know for a fact that those factors are gonna have an effect on what we see in fashion 2025. So that's kind of what I kept in mind when I was making these predictions, and because of that, I actually really do think that these are going to manifest. I genuinely believe that on December 31st, 2025, I'm gonna look back at this video and I'm gonna be like, wow, I hit the nail on the head. Here are my predictions. Before I even start, I need to talk about the economic state in America and how that's going to influence fashion. So basically, we just had a presidential election and we're going back to a government where Republicans are leading. One of the biggest concerns in this election were Trump's imposed tariffs. These tariffs are most likely going to raise the prices of goods here in America. And I feel like a lot of people are going to start using things that aren't normally seen as luxury. Like for example, food. We don't think of food as a luxury. We think of food as a necessity. Everyone needs food. There's a grocery store near everyone's house. Everyone buys food. But I feel like as food becomes more expensive, people will start looking at like food as a luxury and they're gonna start wearing their food. What does this mean? I feel like we're gonna start seeing more food accessories. Like we may see food print, we may see food accessories, we may see a lot of fashion that alludes to food. Right now, a lot of big brands like Rhode are using food to market their products. For example, I feel like every single time Rhode comes out with something, it's usually named, oh, this cinnamon glaze peptide treatment, this strawberry peptide treatment. They're using food to sell their products. When a brand is using delicious food in their marketing, it's gonna entice people to want to eat it. But because they're not actually selling food, they just buy into the product they're promoting. Rhode does this very well, and I think a lot of brands will follow. And I think with this way of using food to market, it's actually going to translate into a literal sense where people are like literally wearing like food accessories, like food rings or rings with food or necklaces with food or food print. So that is one prediction that I definitely have that I think will manifest in 2025. Like I said, because the price of everything is going to get a lot more expensive, like for example, it's gonna become a lot more expensive to create and manufacture products, a lot of brands will either increase their prices or will just diminish the quality of their product. Another trend prediction I have is the rise of loud luxury. So who are the people who can even afford luxury? There are two groups of people. The people who are rich, who have always been rich, and then the people who were poor but now have money. When I talk about the rise of loud luxury, I'm not talking about the people who are rich and have always been rich. I'm talking about the people who didn't have money before and now have money. So like the new money. All year, we have been seeing so much about quiet luxury and old money. But because we've been seeing this all year and have been talking about it all year, is it really as quiet as people assume it is? I feel like a lot of things this year, like the rise of wanting a soft life and a provider to pay for everything, the rise of like a trad wife, all kind of was a slow progression into where we are now, which is in a society that leans a little bit right. But the mystique of old money and quiet luxury was the fact that nobody was talking about it. But if if everyone's talking about it, it kind of ruins its charm. Before, when we saw a girl that wore a blazer and a long skirt that touched her ankles, we could be like, oh, that girl's really chic, she's really stylish. But now if we were to see that same girl who's still wearing the blazer and the long skirt down to her ankles, we're gonna be like, oh, that's old money, that's quiet luxury. But people don't like that aspect being pointed out. When you take that into account with, you know, the economic crisis that we may all fall into, I feel like it's going to push new money to show their wealth more. And how I see this manifesting is logo mania. Not too much logo to the point where like there's a logo on everything, but I feel like people are going to be drawn to shirts and t-shirts and blazers and belts and pants that have logos rather than pants that don't. The whole quiet luxury thing was no logos, no nothing. And I feel like this no logo kind of aspect of quiet luxury kind of invited people who don't really fit the quiet luxury old money aesthetic to join in on it. But people don't want them to join on it. They want to feel special. They want to feel exclusive. So I feel like people are going to opt to having more clothes that show logos, that show brand names, especially in a time where not everyone has money, because, you know, the people who do have money, the new money, kind of want to show their superiority over the people who don't. I also think that a more opulent and regal type of dressing will be very popular among new money. Think wearing royal blues and royal purples, and think of wearing jackets with embellishment on it and like gold accents all over it. Like, it's almost like this modern regal type dressing. I feel like aspects of that type of dressing will kind of manifest in people's everyday style to kind of show the person that they're walking past on the street that they have money. Especially if you take into account like TikTok being banned, which is a platform where people, you know, like to be a little bit flashy, you know, they like to show that they have a lot. When you take into account that a platform that people can connect with other people on and showcase their wealth on, if you take into account that that's being banned and that's no longer going to be a place where people can like connect with one another, the people who have that need to showcase their wealth in that way are gonna find other avenues to do it. So I feel like through wearing more logos and dressing in this more opulent fashion, it's going to send a message to the average person that I have more money than you, although you're in economic crisis, I'm not, and that's kind of going to make them feel superior to the next person. But like I said, I only see this trend being present with people who maybe didn't have money before and now have money, not people who have always had money. But now that I think about it, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure because of the way that the world has been reacting to the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. You would think that, you know, someone who shoots someone in cold blood, you know, everyone would be looking for the shooter, everybody would be trying to put him behind bars, but that's not really what has been happening. People have been painting the shooter as a hero, and I think this whole situation really is allowing people to be a little bit more class conscious and really plays into this whole eat the rich type mentality. So with that being said, I'm not entirely sure if new money is going to be as flashy with their wealth. Welcome to day 4 of 12 days of Chinelo-HO. Here's the giveaway. Before we start, here is the winner of yesterday's giveaway. Yeah! In today's video, I'm gonna be giving away a $30 Amazon gift card. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, which is at Coco Chinelo, and then answer the question I asked in the comments below. And after your comment, make sure to put your Instagram handle so I know how to contact you if you win. You're gonna find out who won the giveaway in tomorrow's YouTube video. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's continue the video. Now, the next trend is specifically for people who will probably be affected by the economic recession we may go through. And I feel like with that, we'll see a rise in upcycling and a rise in DIY. We are going to enter a climate where we just can't simply get new pants if we stain our pants or if we rip our pants. So I feel like people are definitely going to be more open to upcycling their clothes and having a lot of fun with it. They're gonna add a lot of fun accessories, fun buttons, fun embroidery to make their clothes a lot more fun and personalized. And I feel like those people are going to lean into buying more clothes that look more DIY. An example of this is patchwork. Patchwork looks like DIY, but there are brands where you can buy patchwork pants. I feel like we're going to see kind of this rise in DIY and upcycling in the fashion that we see. Even with the styling videos that I have made or I have seen, the ones that have the most views are always some sort of fashion DIY hack type video. I can see a lot of people interacting and engaging with that type of content, and a lot of people are going home and trying them out. So I definitely do see a rise in upcycling and like DIY type clothes in 2025. And last but not least, I feel like there will definitely be a continuation of like sporty core. And I feel like this will happen, especially with the rise of soccer being like a prominent sport in this country. You have no idea how excited I am for this. Soccer is my favorite sport. And it is so hard to have soccer be your favorite sport and no one give a fuck about soccer in the United States. I swear, everyone only cares about American football and they care about basketball. But I feel like more people in America are slowly getting into soccer. This summer was a very sporty summer. We had the Euros, which had a big effect on fashion, and also we had the Olympics last summer. So I definitely do think that we're gonna definitely see a revival of sport core this summer, because this summer is the Club World Cup and it is hosted in America. I think the Club World Cup will be really fun because there are so many Premier League teams, La Liga teams that have fans here in America, but you know, they don't really play here often. They maybe play like once a year at your home stadium, but to have a whole tournament of just endless games at your home stadium here in America, it's definitely gonna bring out the soccer fans. Because the thing is, I definitely do feel like there are a lot of soccer fans here in America. They're just not fans of the MLS. They're fans of the European League. And if you bring those clubs over here and have a tournament where they're playing games every single day for like 7 days straight, they're definitely going to bring in those fans. The people who've always been fans of them, they're definitely gonna come out and they're gonna watch every single game. There's probably gonna be so many activations present, and the activations will, you know, kind of entice more people to become fans of the sport, fans of the club, and it definitely will have an effect on fashion. I definitely do think that the rise of the WAG has a lot to do with the rise in sport core. Obviously, WAGs have always been around, but I feel like the WAGs that most people kind of paid attention to were, you know, American football WAGs or basketball WAGs, because those were the two biggest sports in this country. But with the rise of old money came the rise of WAGs of old money sports. Think F1 or tennis. I feel like I've been seeing a lot from tennis and F1 WAGs this year. Everyone kind of has an obsession with them, and their influence definitely does influence fashion. So I definitely do see that kind of continuing in 2025. All right, those are it. Those are my 2025 fashion trend predictions. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.